Hi everyone, welcome back. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to try, hopefully my last chameleon spiral, my chameleon cell spiral. I've done quite a few of them and I've been really happy with them, but I've had some comments on them. Why don't you do a ring pour and then do the spiral? I've been doing flip cups and then a spiral, but I guess the theory being if I do a ring pour, am I likely to get more of that ring, that spiral effect that I'm wanting? So I love doing the chameleon pours. I've kind of got to the point where I think I need to stop. But I'm just going to hopefully do this last one and be really happy with it. So I've mixed up some pretty daring colours, some contrasting colours. I've got a pink and a turquoise and a bronze and some blues. I'm going to layer up a cup, do a ring pour, and then dot some oil on to create the cells and see what happens, see what effect it has. The colours I've chosen, I've got a turquoise, I've got a mixed blue. This was some leftover paint, a combination of different colours left over from another painting. I've got some bronze, some Prussian blue, some metallic pink and some white. So the consistency is 2:1. The recipe is 2:1 pouring medium to paint, and the pouring medium is PVA glue and water. I'll put the recipe in the description. It's runny. So the runnier this is, the more likely I am to get cells. However, bigger cells. However, the runnier it is, the more likely, no, that's a lot thicker. I need to water that down. The more likely it is that I'm going to get some muddying, especially with this pink and this green. This is really, really risky. But I love these colours. So I'm just going to try it and just keep my fingers crossed they're not going to muddy. I'm just going to recheck the consistency because that bronze has definitely thickened up. I tend to do a 2:1 ratio to all my paints, regardless of the brand, and then just mix them and just have a feel. You can sort of feel how thick they are just by stirring, just by lifting up the stir stick. And then I'll choose one which I like the most. So maybe not too thick, not too thin. And then just try and mix all the other paints to the same consistency. So if it's too thick, I'll just add a little bit more water. If it's too thin, I just add a little bit more paint. The only sort of caveat to that is that the metallics, if you mix them, I find if you mix them so that they feel the same as the others, for some reason, that's often too thin for them. And actually on your painting and on your pour, they spread more or they split more or they just look like they're thinner. So maybe something to do with the paint, how it glides. It needs to be slightly thicker to hold. So I'm going to layer up this cup, but because the paints are quite thin, I'm going to make sure I run the paints just down the side of the cup. That just means they're not going to mix as much in the cup. Oh, I've started the wrong way. I meant to start the other end with the white. Never mind. It's too late now. If you pour the paint right into the centre of the cup, they're much more likely to mix and blend in the cup before you've even got them on the canvas. So I've got a 30cm canvas. I think I'm just going to pour straight on. I was going to put a flow extender down. I've got some spare paint, so I could put a flow extender down. In fact, I might, because it would just help the paints to glide, I think, a bit better. And again, I've just got some left over from the previous pour. You can see it's not even fully mixed in. So if I just put a little puddle in the middle, and then I can pour into that. Oh, I've just dripped it. Never mind. So as a ring pour, I don't particularly like this because it's totally dominant with the blue and the green. I think I might spin this. So I think if I gently spin this, I might be able to keep the roundness a bit more. So to create the cells, I'm going to use this. You won't be able to see the bottle, it's got two painted, but it's made by a company called OGX. It's coconut milk hair serum. So I'm just putting a little squirt on the worktop here. And then I'm just going to use a big push pin. I'm going to dip the end of my push pin into the oil and then just start touching this on and see what happens. So this has definitely worked. I'm slightly disappointed with the colours. I think the blue and the green have just really taken over, but I have definitely got my spiral. So you can see that the colours are in spirals as well as the cells. So I think it just emphasises it. The cells are gorgeous. I'm really happy with the consistency because the cells, they've expanded nicely and they've distorted where they've all hit each other. So I'm really happy with that consistency. I do think as this dries, it will go darker, and I think that will actually help. I guess it's the centre there I'm not quite as keen on. As I said, I meant to put the white in first. The pink has disappeared and so has most of the bronze, which is really interesting. So yeah, really happy with it. However, I do have some of these paints left. So I'm thinking about going again, but just with maybe the bronze, the blue, the white, the pink. That could look really pretty. So leave out the two colours that really dominated on this pour, the blue and the green. I think I might do that. Just look at the spiral. It reminds me of a fossil. I've just got the most perfect spiral, perfect circle going round and round. I almost didn't do the chameleon cells because it actually made a really cool pour, because the white was really reactive with the paints. Because it's so thin, the paints are really reacting well together. But look, so the cells are within that white. And then over here, they're within the pink. There is the pink showing, but still it's very subtle. It must be quite a transparent colour. And also the bronze. The bronze isn't showing that much either. So it's mostly a blue and a white pour, but there actually isn't that much dark blue. It's because they're such fluid colours that it's all mixed, really mixed together. Now, why have I got blue at the edge? Oh, that's because of the flow extender. I was thinking, what's that? So it did occur to me, actually, that the flow extender could have been why the blue overtook last time. That might well be it. I assumed that all that flow extender would be pushed off over the edge, but that's almost proof. There's a little bit all the way around that the flow extender does actually become part of your painting. Ah, that's interesting. Right, I'll be back when it's dry. So they're both now dry and they're both completely different. Let me show you the first one. Drying, it has made everything darker, and I think that has actually helped because can you see, I think there's just a bit more definition now in the centre. The blue and the green looked so similar when it was wet. I think there's more definition now. The cells are beautiful. I've definitely got that spiral. The bronze is really peering through a little bit more there. There's just no pink at all, but it doesn't matter. I was just disappointed that the pink didn't really come through, but definitely got that spiral. So it definitely looks like a kind of whirlpool into the centre. So really pleased with it. And then in contrast, this didn't turn out how I was planning either, but wow, it is a spiral, but it also just looks like a lot of circles, I think. The centre is just amazing. That contrast of the blue and the white, I just think is just amazing. And then the cells at the edges have distorted. You can tell it's quite a runny mixture because you see they kind of run off the edge a little bit here. I'm not actually sure which I prefer. The pink hasn't come through on either of them particularly well. I like them both. I'm really pleased with them both, but for totally different reasons. So yeah, I think I've got it out of my system. I've got my spiral chameleon cells. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you have any ideas of anything further I could do with this technique, let me know. But yeah, if you like it, please hit the thumbs up button. Please do subscribe to my channel. Great, thanks for watching. Bye.